Hello, NBA crew. It's your buddy Choppadong. I've got another episode of Chop Talk for you today. It is Friday. Freaky Friday, end of the week Friday. No, that's not me dancing in the center of your screen. That's some other dude with more balls than I got. But I thought that I would share that stat with you while you're getting loaded up here and I tell you about DFSArmy.com, the one-stop shop for all things daily fantasy sports, the place where you go get content, tools, coaching, the whole bit. Many of you have signed up in the last few days, and I really appreciate that because if we keep triggering these signups, I'm going to start giving away more subscriptions to DFSArmy.com. Get in here, become a member, and maybe somebody brand new gets the membership. Maybe somebody else gets the membership that's been a long-standing member. I don't care. I'm into giving back to the community that's given to me. So what I'm doing is when you retweet my video tweets or my pinned tweet on Twitter for the month of November, when you retweet that pinned tweet, I'm going to enter you into a drawing. And somebody, somewhere, maybe two, maybe three, somebody somewhere is going to win a free December. We're going to see how big this thing gets. So help me keep pushing. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, go down to the comments section, become a VIP at deal. Don't just wait for me to give it away because I'm not even giving away 10% of the people that sign up or 10% of the retweets because we're going to blow this thing up so big, hopefully, that I'm giving away 5, 10, 20, 30 memberships a month in the next, say, year or so and doing it on a regular basis. That's what I want to do for you, but you've got to be a VIP to help me create that push so that you can find a way to land yourself into the free month. Okay, follow Friday, obviously. We got dancing Alabama Crimson Tide guys. But what I really wanted to show you was right here. Guys, the coaching works. It just works. Thank you for all the help. Bankroll Management finally listened to you all and keep watching my stack rise every night. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to happen every night. We need to temper expectations. Nobody wins every day. But between that and the core advice, it's starting to roll. Thanks, DFS Army. This is the type of stuff we get. I've got a 6 tweet train from about 3 days ago with a guy that just went into a very, very long explanation of how we help, sometimes me specifically, sometimes our other coaches. Here's a link to our NBA coaches. Follow them. I'll probably put the NFL guys out there today too. NHL, we got it all rolling. Follow the link in the description. Let's get to business and let's talk NBA today. What I want you to do is I want you to go into our research station if you are a VIP, and we're going to sort by the and1 rating system, which is a catch-all metric that brings the tippy top to the tippy top. And the reason I do this early in the morning and don't feel shameful or bashful about it at all is we all know it's going to change. It's going to be different by 3 p.m. But this gets your research started in the right direction. Go back in at 3 or 4 p.m. when you've got the controls to this. You can't get the controls to this bad boy without being a VIP. So you've got to use that link and use coupon code CHOP. But you at least get pointed in the right direction today because not everything's going to change. We're going to sort by position. Once we've sorted and1 by descending order, catch-all metric takes into account, field goal usage, minutes, trending points, all sorts of things, and it puts different weights and measures on them. I don't even know the parameters myself. I'm not the creator of the metric. I just know it works. It's been working very well the past 2 weeks or so since we've stumbled across it and started testing it. Follow CG and Benjamin and the other guys that are the creators of this thing. Don't bug them. They won't tell you what goes into it either because believe me, they won't tell me. And if they won't tell me, they probably won't even tell their wives. Not that I'm that important to them, but anyway. Kemba Walker, John Wall, Derrick Rose, Reggie Jackson, Ben Simmons. These are your top 5 point guards. Why? Because the NA doesn't apply. Yeah, we'll pick up the value guys later, but these are the top 5. I'm looking for double digits, sometimes over an 8 or a 9. I'm looking for overall depth at the position. How strong is it today? I haven't looked at Vegas yet. I haven't looked at who's paced up or who's pointed up or who needs rest or any of that crap. This is just straight up spitting it out on paper. We'll look at all that stuff down the road. Our coaches will talk about that stuff inside the NBA rooms, DFSArmy.com. Oladipo, Butler, Beal, Buddy Hield, whatever. I don't care. Fournier. And then you might not go below that much, but you might when it comes to the value guys. Okay? These are your playables. This is how you're starting to form your player pool. Inwenu played, recently, so fine, whatever. But I'm starting at Wiggins. Look at this. 16.9. Everybody else below a 10. Not a deep position tonight at small forward. This is where everybody's going to take their value. But if you can scroll over and find Well, it's where people are going to take their value. I don't know NBA well enough to know if that's where everybody's going to take their value. I don't know if that's going to be the chalk construction. I'm telling you that what I would be doing is looking to pay up for Wiggins. 44% consistency almost half the time at 5x. Tested the ceiling at 6x, it looks like once out of 9 games. Generally hits 4, not going to probably kill you. He's not usually a consistent guy, but he's been more consistent this year than most. If he's in a good matchup, if he's in a good spot to gain a ton of minutes, paced up, pointed up on the night, and all that kind of stuff, then I would encourage you to consider paying up for him because your advantage over the rest of the field is large. When everybody else looks to pay down, you should look to pay up. Pretty simple, especially if it makes sense. Okay? That's how I would treat, you saw the top 5 there. Go back, write them down. Blake, Griffin, Taj, another shorter position. Only 3 guys here. I tend to pay down in the deep positions because the advantage over the field isn't quite as large, and I tend to pay up when the position is scarce because the top of the guys really separate themselves from the rest of the crap mixing in down here at the bottom of the barrel. It's just a philosophy of mine. Positional scarcity. You've heard me talk about it a few times. Griffin, Taj, Gordon, Bagley, Millsap if he plays, Sabonis. These are the top 5. You can also look over here at value and see who our domination station projection is going to like the most. It's going to force Bagley in everywhere. If you like that, fine. If you don't like that, uncheck his ass. Or go into our domination station and decrease his points using the dislike, hate, enrage, whatever settings, the little smiley faces. You can control that stuff depending on your opinion and the research that you find. We put the base together for you. You tweak the base and then go run that thing out there in your contests. And generally, it's been working. 71-point ceiling for Blake. Wow. All right, centers. Drummond, Cat, Embiid, Jokic, Vooch. Generally a deeper position. Not so tonight. Generally a deeper position. Looks like point guards are deeper position because it goes down a little bit, a few more notches, Okay, so let's take the point guards off. Shooting guard might have been one too. Don't remember. Small forward was scarce. I know that. Power forward was scarce. Center was about right. Okay, now I've still sorted by and 1. I've got all my positions up here. I've got the top 5 at every single position, right? Now we're going to value hunt. Already sorted by descending in the and 1. I'm coming less than $6,000, and I'm going to write down the top 10. Okay, I'm going to get some 5s in there, some 4s in there. There's going to be some duplication on this list. That's okay. Get rid of the NA guys, right? So start here at Taj. Reggie, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9, 10. These are your top 10. Does Myles Turner make the list? Maybe if you like him, but generally speaking, no. Myles Turner is not a bad play most nights, though, when you're looking for value. It's just he doesn't have as quality a matchup as he might typically have. So what? Now, instead of going straight 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, I cut this one in half. I go to 4,500, sort it again. I've got anything under 6,000 and anything under 4,500. I don't need many more viable punts than tonight. I would be watching these guys, though, big time. Look at how cheap some of these punts are tonight. Where are we at? Here's the NAs, 8. And again, I don't pay attention. If it gets all the way down in here into these small numbers, I'll take them. I'll put them in my player pool. The projections and optimizer may or may not use them. But I've generally got my player pool down to about 40 players this way, even on big slates. Last night, I cut it down even smaller. It was only a 4-game slate. I cut it down to the top 4 at every position, maybe the top 8 in this, under 6,000, under 4,500 scenario. And what I did was I just mixed and matched them in optimizers, tweaked some projections here and there, boom, cashed in all 3 lineups. Didn't have a great night, didn't hit like the night before. I was 3rd, and 14th in 100-man leagues. So 3%, 3%, 14% lineups, hit quintuple ups everywhere. Triple ups, 50-50s, whatever, smashed, no problem. Printed money, no big deal. Last night, not so much. I think I was about, I don't think I cashed in any 100-mans. I think it was 14th, 15th in one, maybe 20-something in another, and 30-something in another. But I was very solidly in my 50-50s. I hit a couple of 3-man leagues. Our VIPs know what to do with 3-man leagues. If you don't know that, you need to be a VIP. Learn the secret. I think I did hit a 5-man league. Turned out it was a real crappy 5-man league. I didn't pay attention to the payout, and it was one of those 5 people top 3 pay where I only won $2. Pissed me off. Probably could have won, should have won $5 in those. But point is, this system is what's producing that kind of consistency and that kind of work. And if you want access to it and you want to drive the keys and steer the wheel yourself, you need to come inside, be a VIP. Bogdanovich, Simmons, Shumpert, Parker, Kid Gilchrist, Galloway, Dedman, Grant, Plumlee, Kufos, whatever the hell you want to call him. Couscous. Let's call him Couscous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I stopped at the right spot. To quote a Friends episode when Ross walks into Rachel's office, I've got couscous. So that's your player pool. Now what I'm going to also do is I'll go clear this off, go back to the top, still sorted by and 1. Now let's bring the value plays to, let's start looking down in the and 1 rating system, see who the value is going to like tonight. It's going to like Blake Griffin. It's going to like Towns. It's going to like Embiid a little bit. These higher guys, 4.5 to 5x is great. It's going to really like Derrick Rose again. It's going to like Bradley Beal. Nope, that's not real. That's Taj. It's going to like Taj Gibson. Any of these 5s, any of these green. Green is good, red is bad. Okay? It's going to like these guys. We can scroll down a little bit more. Who do we have here? Bagley again. 2 more down. Josh Richardson. We know to wait for news on that. That might even go up more. See, like I said, the games, they change as the night goes on. 4.3x, 67-point ceiling for Whiteside. Maybe you use him, maybe you don't. He smashed last time out. We've got him projected about 39 points. Okay, this is how you use the tool. And then, of course, I showed you scrolling over to the right how this works. So what are we, 10 minutes into the slate? 10 minutes into our research, and we've already got a 40-player player pool that we can then take into the Domination Station Optimizer, use the projections to start running some mock lineups tonight, and then we can be sitting on a basic foundation of who we like, what players we like. We're going to see that Domination Station is going to pull Bagley. It's going to pull, Derrick Rose. It's going to pull some of these guys in a lot of these lineups. You can limit your exposure. This is where our lineup optimizer blows the competition away. And I'll show you sometime we got more time. I can control my player exposures. I want nobody in more than 60, 70, 80% of my lineups, boom, done. I can control my unique players that I throw into a lineup. It'll take a core of 4 or 5 guys and it'll mix and match the other 3. Or if it doesn't like, it may mix and match 4 or 5 guys because it doesn't have such a strong core based on these projections. I'm telling you, Derrick Rose is going to be in your core. I'm telling you, it looks like Jokic might be in your core. It looks like, unless lately it's been punt and center, which is fine. But Bagley's going to be in your core. These types of people, when you check these boxes, are going to be in your core. What I do is I go into the Domination Station, I uncheck every position, point guard, and I start checking the guys in my player pool. I uncheck shooting guards, and I check the guys in my player pool. I do it for every position. And then I've only got guys, I don't care what my lineup looks like. I've only got guys in there that I want to see. I don't have to worry that all of a sudden, John Wall's going to appear in my lineup because I didn't write him down. Maybe I told you to. I'm not sure. But, some of these guys are not going to be in there, and you're going to skip over some pretty big names and some chalky names, and you're going to wonder why at the end of the night the projections tend to pan out for the guys you selected because you selected the guys also in the best matchups. And not just the best DVP matchup, but the best matchup with weights and measures placed on how he's been performing recently, how he's been performing over the full season, how he does at home, how he does on the road, how he does in terms of DVP, how he's projected with his minutes, trending, last 3 games, last 10 games, fantasy points, field goal attempts, last 3 games, last 10 games. All of these things get placed in there with different amounts of weight put on the categories. And we've been testing these, and we've been tweaking these. And now that we're a few weeks into the season, we've been running these out, and we are now starting to get very consistent. If you saw my Twitter yesterday, see if I can scroll down and find it, and then I'll let you go. You did not see this yesterday. Not that. That was the winning I did yesterday or the day before. Here. NFL right now graded number 1 by a third-party source, right? Number 1 in terms of accuracy of projections. NBA number 2. You get the number 1 and number 2 projections in the same sports for a team that covers them all. Coaches to explain to you how to use the tools. Tools that point you in the right direction. And then, of course, schmucks like me that stand out here and scream from the mountaintops that you're an absolute moron if you don't join. You need the controls of this stuff yourself. You don't wait for me to sit there and point a video out to you. You don't sit there and wait for me to show up on a Friday with NBA and then come back on Monday with NHL when you're waiting for NBA. You need to learn the controls yourself. You need to get in here and invest in your own game. The only way you can do that is to be a VIP. So as we wrap up Friday, wrap up today, jump down into the bottom here. Click the link, dfsarmy.com, coupon code CHOP, save yourself 10%. Get your butts in here. Start talking to our coaches. Start getting the last minute pivots. Start seeing how this research station and the projections, the second most accurate projections in the industry, as well as the coaches telling you what the impacts are when news breaks. Get all of that. Get the edge, man. Join us. Get in here. Join the Army hats on tops of all the leaderboards that you're seeing. You know, to me, it just makes sense. So anyway, it's been a Friday. Give me a follow out on Twitter. Give me a like, a subscribe, ring the bell. Let's keep the train rolling. We're going to keep pouring content out to you guys day in and day out. Thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel. Thank you for becoming VIPs inside DFS Army, because that's where the goodness really happens. That you get the tip of the iceberg out here. You get the meat of the iceberg underneath the surface when you come inside and take a look at us in our coaching channels and talk to all of the different coaches and staff that we have that are frankly dedicated to helping you become a better player. Okay? Anyway, we'll wrap up Friday. Take care, guys. We'll see you on the flip-flop. Hopefully we see you at the top of the leaderboards in NBA. And I will be talking, I guess we'll talk Week 10 football at some point. You got box checkers if you scroll down to my YouTube channel. Just a smidge, one more video or so, and you can see how I operate in NFL as well. Take care, guys. We'll talk to you Monday.